Hello, everyone. Do let me know if the audio is working. It's not showing on my side again for some reason. Can y'all hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so you all can hear me. Good, awesome, because it's not showing on my side again for whatever stupid reason. So that's good to know. See, we already got a few people in here. Creator, glad you could make it. Also, I saw that you saw the comic, which we're going to talk about. Glad you enjoyed that. Seems hugs everyone. Coffee hour. You drink. Listen to Drake, Squirrel, and Jade. No trolling. Nice. Save a cup of nice. Yes, no trolling. Appreciate it. Not spill coffee. Anthony, good to see you. Jade, glad you could make it. Small Bean, hey, good to see you, Small. Maria, Jeremy. What's up, Drake? Second live for me. Hey, glad you could make it. Glad you could make it. All right. So, for those who don't know, I'm in the community tab for everyone. We just dropped a Adventures of Bob and Ace comic. We do have a few viewers and fans who love to draw these little comics. Now, this one, we actually got two versions of it. One of them was to go public. The other one goes in the members only area. That's members only for YouTube and includes the Patreon community. So, whichever one you're a member of. That said, there hasn't been other Bob and Ace comics. I think one or two, can't remember how many, in which was uploaded to the members only. So if you are interested in more adventures of Bob and Ace, do know most of those, in most cases, will be posted to the members only area. Occasionally, we might have something like this where we get more than one version that will allow us to do that. Just so you all do know, that is a members only thing. And many of you did catch a very, very quick random Drake thought in the members only section earlier this week, which I just had to share with y'all. It was too freaking funny. As well as a nice little quick meditation that I literally used in a meeting this week. And members, you can expect more stuff like that. So, mugs up to you on there. All right, let's see. Let's see, Craig, I got a question. Do you accept fan mail? Um, what do you mean by fan mail? I mean, like you can email me, but I don't currently have a like PO box or anything, and I do not give out my home address for many, many reasons. Family safety, for one. But I do actually take like you can email me like images and poems or stories and stuff like that can easily go through email. Angela, I was wondering if you would accept a gift from me, and I'm very grateful for your knowledge you share. Um, we were. I appreciate that. That is sweet. There's a few ways we could like. Are you talking about purchasing something like on Amazon? Because I think there might be a way to do it where my address doesn't show up. Or are you talking about something like handmade that you crafted? Because again, if it comes to that, I either got to find a receiver or something, that kind of thing. And at which point we haven't done yet. We're still settling in where we're at. Let's see. And thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel and the school and the lessons. Very much so. Nice hat. Looks very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Damon. Thank you. Thank you. That's actually become one of my favorites out of the ones I got. I don't know why, because it's a very simple hat, but it looks good on me. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hoping to send you a shield I was making, especially for you with you in mind. It's fine, I understand. Creator, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're in the Gilded, and I think you messaged me about this. Stay in touch with me and let me check out a few things where I'm at and see if I can get like a post box or something like that. Or at least a ship to location, because I know a place that used to do it. I don't know if they still do it. and I will let you know. Again, I'm honored and flattered. Thank you very much. I gotta see what I can do. Just give me a little time. Oscar, good to see you. Maria, good to see you. Uh, hey, would you go about enchanting a ring for protection? My starting point is the Dragon's Flame ritual, buying it slightly oversized and a drop of black candle wax on in/on it. Not really sure where the candle wax is coming in because if I was to charge a ring for protection, okay, we can talk about this real quick. I'll do a quick demo. I need something. Okay, we'll use this. Okay, screw it. I don't know where my ring's at. Okay, so let's say I was going to charge anything for protection of any kind, whether it be a pendant, a necklace, or a ring. So using the Dragon's Flame ritual to raise and generate energy in the area, that is a great starting point, and that's actually where I would start. From there, once all the energy is coming in, I would start to focus that energy. Well, actually, when I do the ritual, the focal point for the flames coming in would be my work area where said item will be sitting in. Ideally, it should be sitting there. Now, with that item sitting on your work area and that focus there, then you would turn your focus to the item, pushing the energy in with the thought and ideals of protection. So you're going to tune all this incoming energy to protection. The more energy you put in, the longer it will last. Do note that protections are not permanent. And in fact, if you actually think that you're actually getting hit with things, the more things that the ring has to actually help against, the quicker it will deplete. But I would say if you charged it once a week, you should be solid, and that would work. That's literally how I charge most of my stuff. Doing the earthworm pack working was pleasantly surprised. How nice Terrafana. Oh, she's a sweetie. Terrafana is a sweetie. There is no doubt there. I adore her. Damon, what are my top 3 favorite occult books? Oh, you asking the serious questions, aren't you? Do I only get 3? Okay, so 3 books. If we're talking 3 books, I am going to pick the first 3 books in Pencak's Temple of Witchcraft series. The reason being, if you're wanting basic information, those 4 books are kind of the go-to recommending books because he gives a broad spectrum of ideals, viewpoints, and thoughts, and it really lays down a good foundation. The 4th book begins to focus on ceremonial magic, which goes a little deeper. Those would probably, like, I consider those my favorite because I recommend those to anybody who's getting started. Okay, so that would be that. Now, if we're talking favorite advanced books, um, I like Damon Brand's Demons of Magic. I really do. I also like his 72 Angels of Magic. I think both of those complement each other very, very well. Next to that, I would put in Asenath Mason's Clifothic Pathworking, to be honest with you. I know technically that's the Pathworking was published in 3 books, and I think she published it in a single book now. I'm not sure. But those would probably be my go-tos for higher ups in there. So it really, for me, like, favorite book depends on what we're talking about. Because it differs. Like, yeah, it differs on the topic. It really does. But on a general spectrum, I would say those. Hope that helps a little bit. Okay. See, it's got Torquer's symbol, but it isn't finished. It will be done by the end of the month. May, it's got a dragon painted on it. Ooh, that sounds absolutely gorgeous. End of the month, which means I have time to attempt to find that for you. So cool. Appreciate it, creator. Thank you very much. And this is actually a question I get a lot. So I probably should try to figure a shipping destination or a P.O. box. So yeah. Need to figure that out. Can you explain a little bit about time magic? Okay, time magic is one of these that has a lot of misconceptions around it, and it probably would actually do to make a real video on this. In fact, you know what? Before I answer this, let me click over to my to-do list here, and we're going to add time magic on here so I can actually do a detailed video on it. But we are still going to go ahead and answer it because that's what we do here. Okay, time magic. So if you're wanting to jump back in time and see dinosaurs or jump forward in time to outrun the problems of your life, not going to happen. Give up. Sorry, ain't happening. If you want to go back to your childhood and alter and change a mistake, likely to not happen. Seed's work has very, very minimal ability to alter past events, and they have to be relatively recent to even attempt to alter them. So, what does time magic do? Time magic can allow you to alter the ebb and flow ever so slightly around you for a very, very short period of time. Now, any alteration, one way or the other, it's gonna is going to have to rebalance. It's like a rubber band. So whichever way you're stretching it, it's going to snap back. So, perfect example. I utilized this little trick one time when I had to make a mad dash from a changeover where I had 5 minutes to get from one gate to the other, and the standard travel time was 25 minutes from gate to gate. I made my plane. And according to my watch, I made that run in under 5 minutes. Go figure. Needless to say, people, I am no sprinter. I am no long distance runner. We all know this. I hate running. You're not going to get me to run. So that's how that happened. However, the rebound came much later. There was well, it was actually later that day, but a trip that should have took 20 minutes, quick, easy, nothing like that. It felt like it did take 20 minutes, but it also felt like it dragged on. No traffic delays, no nothing. And it just dragged on and on and on and on and on and on. So it's always going to rebalance. And the same thing, if you use it in reverse, let's say you want to slow down to preserve a happy moment. Great, awesome. You can do that. But something else is going to rebound and zip and fast forward. So you've got to be aware of that. But that's really all time magic is that alteration of it ever so slightly around you. Everyone else won't notice. No one else is going to notice the alteration between it. Hope that helps us a little bit. Whoa. I missed some things here. Dragon hair clip. Oh, dragon hair clip sounds cute. Scarlet. Let's see. Let's see. Guys, I wouldn't be able to decide on favorite books because I consider each book to be equally of value and equally give me my love to magic. It would be hard. Like I'll be honest. There's a lot of books I can honestly say I don't like them. I'm at a point in my career where I find a lot of books absolutely useless and either just rehashing the same schlock and retheming it, or doing a very piss poor job of explaining it and causing more confusion than needed. I have recently cut my occult library back by more than half because of this. So clearly I do have favorites, and then I do have things that I view as a waste of time. That said, I'm also that person, like if I get a hold of a book, I'm going to at least read it. Will I add it to my library? That's a question. I've gotten to where I only add things that I think are tangibly good quality for me and for teaching others. That's the only thing I'll keep in my library anymore. Then we can send you coffee. Oh dear God, that is heaven, Maria. Now there's motivation. Get it so I can send coffee. Hey, Violet Star, good to see you. Yes, I can send some of the coffee beans I can't grind. Technically small. If nothing else, you can just smash it with a hammer. That will actually work. I've done it. Or you can actually if you have a metal pot, you can do that and get a can and smash them with the soup can. I've actually done that too at a campsite. So there's ways to do it. A Mason is massive on the Hecate Belial Luciferian combination. Could you describe your views on these ancient spirits and how working with them together benefits the magician? Thanks. My views on those are a little slightly different because, I work with Lucifer, I work with Belial, I have worked with Hecate in the past, not as much. And mostly I focused on her Clifothic works, not her not many of her other works. I've read them, I just don't focus on her other works. So her and I do have differing opinions in those areas, though working with these entities because their focus is definitely on self-development, self-empowerment, I do find to be very, very useful. If you're wanting to work with them as I'm not wanting to do the work, you do the work for me, don't waste your time, go find something else. Oh crap, we jumped. Let's see. Who the hell put time magic on the right? Right. I hate the freaking DMV. I really do. Oh my god. I do not enjoy it at all. Let's see. Jade, everyone, we have 18 watching 7. Yeah, let's get those likes up, people. Hit the thumbs up button. Let YouTube know you actually like the work we do. That way they'll show more people and we can reach more people and help more people. Always a good thing. What's your 5 least favorite books and why? That one, I'm not really sure. That's kind of a tricky one. There's a lot of dragon books that would fall into this category, and I hate them so much I can't even think of the freaking titles because they're all love, light, and fluff, and they make dragons sound like celestial fairies that will do no harm, and they're just here for love and light and to give you hugs. I despise those, and I guarantee you, there's 5 of those right there. Let's see. Huh. Yeah, that's actually a tougher question, which is good because even though I don't find some things particularly useful, and I might even view some as a waste of time, um, it's good to know that they don't jump up as I loathe this book. Um, hmm. All right, we're gonna have to alter the criteria here because I will list off the novelization book Necronomicon that people try to use as a grimoire. It is a work of fiction. It was meant as a work of fiction, and it should be treated as a work of fiction. And I really do not like that book because even egregores built around it cause a lot of people a lot of problems. But that's a personal reason why I don't like it. I never like to see something that gets someone in trouble. That's really the one I can think of because I can't remember the titles of the other ones that's coming to mind. Thank you, Jade. Yes, there's the Gilded Community tab there. Jade, if you can, also if you want to become a channel member or a Patreon, there are links below the videos there to do that and sign up. Each tier has its own benefit. Remember, there is member only live streams that we do, content, stuff like that. Tier 2 has access to a monthly spell working. Tier 3 has access to custom spell workings. And Tier 3 also has access to discounts on courses and merch, I think. So be sure to check those out. And it's a great way to support the channel. Let's see. And then we just jumped. We jumped again. Wow, we're busy today. There are some black magicians that claim chakras are voids that suck in your energy. That is why you should destroy them. And other black magicians that work with chakras, have you heard? Yeah, I've heard of this. Okay, chakras being a trap, they're a void, they suck your energy, they're a parasite, they're a trap or bindage of the Illuminati. It's horseshit. It's bogus. It's crap. The chakras aren't even real. So the chakras are a map. Okay, you could literally sit down and draw an energy map of any kind over a human body and call that an energy map. That's the same thing the chakras are. The only difference is the chakras are a energetic map that has several years, hundreds of years of use from different cultures and has been spread. It is probably the most common. They are not harmful in any way because they're literally an ideal. They're not a literal. That is like me saying I have a pocket knife. It's an ideal. I'm not holding anything. You know, it's just I have a pocket knife, and that pocket knife is a secret weapon of the Illuminati. It's a thought. It's an ideal. It does nothing. However, to the magician, what are the chakras? What is an energy map? An energy map is specifically a way to understand and move energy through the body. Now, you also have the concept of removing chakras. For a lot of people who start using the chakra map or know about the chakra map, and the concept of it doesn't really niche with them real well, you can essentially do a chakra removal, which you're not removing a literal chakra. You're moving the ideal and concept of it from you. This allows your subconscious to easily understand these are gone and allows you to once again work as the energy body as a singular whole thing. And it's really just a matter of perspective of which one you prefer. I know people who prefer the chakra system. They do exceptionally well. And then I know people who the ideal and complexity as a chakra system just is a bunch of hogwash. It confuses them. It's a waste of time for them. And because of that mentality, it doesn't do well at all for them in meditations or practices at all. But if they just start working with the energy body as a whole, 9 times out of 10, those individuals, boom, they accelerate really quickly because it's just a paradigm shift that makes more sense to them. And you're like, well, who's that? You know, what's that 1 out of 10? That 1 out of 10 is the people who can't just naturally shift the paradigm. So they do the chakra removal paradigm shifts. And you will find different energy maps and different energy concepts throughout different literature and different societies and different cultures. They're all the same thing. They're just an energy map of looking at what is our singular energy body, if that makes sense. But yeah, I've seen a lot of scare videos and stuff about that. It's kind of pisses me off the way people are doing it. I think I actually did a video on conspiracy theories on that exact topic. I even had a tinfoil hat on for that video. By the way, that hat was freaking hot. Tinfoil hats are a bad idea, people. Unless it's winter. Catherine, hey, glad you can make it. Happy Beltane to you too. Beltane, May 1st is actually my friend Raven's birthday. So gotta make sure to call and wish her a happy birthday. Here's the link for the merch store. Oh, thanks, Jade. There's the merch store. Speaking of courses, here's the. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have the online school too. Thanks, Jade. You make it look like I know what I'm doing. Can we use a cartoon character as a servitor? Well, you're not using the cartoon character. You're just you're creating a servitor in that image, which you can do. There's nothing wrong with it. A servitor can look like whatever you want. I mean, if you want a big fat redneck servitor, you can make one that looks like me. I don't know why you'd want that, but hey, you can do that. A servitor can literally take on the appearance of whatever you want if you wish to give it an appearance. It doesn't affect it one way or the other, so I say go for it. Some people, though, I will say this: some people have issues with giving the appearance of a media character because the they overwrite the servitor too much with the media character's personality as they view it, and that can occasionally cause problems. But as long as you keep your focus on the servitor's purpose and reason, and you make sure you got that kill command in there, it ain't no issue. You recently Ascent, I really liked it. Awesome, Maria. I'm glad you enjoyed that one. That was a fun video to do, actually. And, I was wondering, didn't get an answer from the dragons. They just directed me to ask you, can you make a servitor to be made in dragon form? Would it be considered part dragon or not? No, it would not be part dragon in any shape, form, or fashion. So dragons are very specific energy types. Like even like the smallest bit of their energy would practically rip apart almost any other entity I know of. And humans, forget it. We ain't got shot. Um, so just because it takes on the shape of a dragon would not align it with the draconic current or make it a dragon in any shape, form, or fashion. It would just be an energetic construct that just happens to look like a dragon. Just like if you were to draw a picture of a dragon or make a statue of a dragon, they have the shape, but they're not a literal dragon. Are there any entities that can help with ascension? Can dragons help with that too? Yeah, there are entities that do work with ascension. I want to say there's a few in Dragon Magic 102, specifically like specialty dragons that help with that to some extent. I know for a fact there's going to be several in 103. And I'm wanting to say there's a few entities also in, well, actually, I know for a fact in the evocation course when it comes out, there'll be a few entities in there that also deal with ascent. Um, but I mean, and when I say deal with ascent, I'm talking about that is a thing that they specifically focus on. As I've said before, entities are bigger than the few little boxes that we check mark for them. They're capable of a hell of a lot more than their specialties. And the way we try to put this in this little neat little entity of checkmark box is actually a little insulting in my mind. They don't mind, but it's limiting, and the magician needs to look past those limitations. So, if you're in Dragon Magic 101 and you're working directly with the first four rulers, those first four rulers can definitely begin to help you with those concepts. For absolutely sure. As could an entity like Freya or Odin. Heimdall actually can do pretty good in there. Thor to some extent, he'll do well in there. Azazel's a good entity. Lucifer's a pretty decent entity in that, as is Lilith and Archangel Michael. Uriel's actually pretty fair on there as well. Thinking. There's more, but that right now that's where my brain stopped. Sorry. Do you still have the tinfoil cowboy hat? No, we actually had to get rid of that in the move, unfortunately, because we are decluttering. So I don't. Unfortunately, I didn't have a place to store it long term. Sadly. Let's see. If it was a place of dragons in Kabbalah, would it be beyond sin? Actually, interestingly enough, you bring that up, Damon. I'm actually doing research both within the Kabbalah and in the Cliffoth, specifically focused on dragons and dragons that work within the different spheres and pathways of the Kabbalah and the Cliffoth. I do not know when there's going to be more information on that work. That being said, dragons do not view sin in the way that we humans do. Sin is largely a human construct. So they really don't give a rat's ass one way or the other. They believe in balance. And sin comes from more of a morality thing. Not to say it's a bad thing, because morality is a good thing. I think a bit of honor and morality is needed. Hell, I'd say more is needed in the world today. But they don't view sin in the Judeo-Christian or religious fashion. So it would be there in every step of the way, talking about morals and lessons and stuff like that. But it also wouldn't, they wouldn't attribute it to a sinner, if that makes any sense. Are they influenced by planetary energies? Meaning, do they have planetary correspondences? There are actually planetary dragons, which have I done the video on those? I think I did. I think I did a video on planetary dragons. Um, are the dragons themselves influenced by those energies? No, actually, as I've mentioned in other videos in that one interview, dragons can actually just completely choose to ignore energy altogether. So yeah, if they want to, they can just choose to ignore it, which is a really weird thing. I'm still trying to figure out. That was one of the things me and EA was discussing in the interview. But so I don't know exactly and fully how the planetary energies of the different spheres are going to come into play, if they'll come into play. That, like I said, this is one of the things I'm diving into, having worked through Kabbalah and having worked through Cliff and I'm trying to pull all my old notes from my old workings on that, in order to compare and contrast to my workings with the dragons through these different realms and how they interconnect. I'm hoping to be able to make enough sense of it to start doing videos in the near future, though. I could have swore it said sin up there. Nope, it didn't. Okay, my bad. All right. If I register my house as a temple, does it give it power? Just one. If you register someplace via paperwork as a temple, it does not empower it in any way. Paperwork is paperwork, okay? Just like having a document that says you're married will not give you a happy marriage because you have to do the work. The same thing. If you register a house as a temple, you actually need to do the work to consecrate it, maintain the energies and all that stuff for it to actually be a true temple. Having a piece of paper don't mean shit. So if you're worried about the registration, I'd save the money because it's worthless on an energetic level. If you have a legal concern, because that's all the paper is, it's a legal matter. Just like a marriage certificate, it does nothing for love, it does nothing for trust, it does nothing for the relationship, it does nothing except a tax break. That's all a marriage certificate is a tax break. That's it. Otherwise, it's a worthless piece of paper. Scarlet, yes, you can create a servitor with two purposes as long as they align pretty well, which luck and prosperity do align. Though, do note that it does take a little bit more focus. It is a little trickier. And many magicians actually seem to feel that they get slightly or less bang for the energetic buck when they start doubling up like that. That's why most magicians say it's actually better to separate them individually. But from an experimental standpoint and a practicality standpoint, if you don't need a lot of bang for your buck in both those areas, I would say give it a try. Just make sure you got your kill command in there and you're keeping your journal, you're tracking the info. You may decide to split it up later, but it is doable. Just every time we start tacking stuff on, it starts breaking up a bit more and more. But it is doable. So that's the thing. It's not an impossibility. It is doable, and I have seen people who do them. And the closer aligned they are, the easier it is to do it, and the less it messes with the bang for your buck. If that makes sense. How does wrongdoing morality the concept of it really doesn't. It really doesn't. You're responsible for your shit. You're responsible for your own. You're responsible for you. So if you do wrong and you make other people want to do wrong to you, that's on you. That's your responsibility. If you do wrong and you're not capable of defending yourself when people come for you, that's on you. Entities aren't out there to be morality police. They really are not. So unless something is affecting things on a large energetic level that would endanger multiple people or hundreds or even thousands of people, by and large, it doesn't matter. Um, on a multiversal level, it just doesn't matter. Right or wrong, the universe will continue to spin. It doesn't really care if you stole a pack of gum or a cheeseburger. Um, Honestly, the multiverse never even slowed when Charles Manson did what he did, or when Ted Bundy did what he did. None of that registered on an energetic level because of that. Now, that said, again, morality is not a bad thing. That's not to go all 100%, anarchist, do what you want, because every realm within the multiverse and every type of entity has their own viewpoints on how to best live, and they follow those, and those are what they are held to. Just like we humans in our little flesh suits here in the physical realm, we are expected to abide by the laws of the land and our moralities, and the views of other. And if we start pissing people off, we can fall victim to the consequences of our actions. You are always responsible for the consequences of your actions, period. There is no get out of jail free card there. I always tell people, if you're not ready to be responsible for your actions, your speech, your thought, and you're not willing to be accountable for everything you do and everything you react to. So, not just the things you do, but how you choose to react to everything around you. You have no concept of self mastery, and magic may not be for you at this time, because the more you get into magic, the more accountable the multiverse will look at you on a personal level, um, and the more through self mastery you should be. Hope that makes some sense. Okay, best ways slash practices for grounding. So I did a grounding video, and grounding. So there are best practices that seem to work for a larger category, but honestly, grounding practices tend to be um, somewhat personal. So different things will work for different people. So let's look at the broad ones and hit the high ones that work for most people well, and so you can get a variety to try. First off, there's routine, which or most people think of as, you see these roots going into the ground or whatnot. This works great for anybody in any location. I can utilize this method, and like when you're doing it, the roots are going into the earth. You're pushing that negative out. We're pulling and cleansing pure natural energy, filling yourself back up. That's fine. I can do it anywhere. There's a lot of people have trouble doing it unless they're in a natural environment. They're very close to the soil. They don't like to do it in, say, Manhattan, because the thought of concrete it just messes with them. Concrete's not going to stop you in any shape, form, or fashion. Won't even hinder you. But if your mind thinks it will, it's going to become a problem. And then there's people who, even if they're out in nature, the concept of roots coming from their feet or from their lower back into the earth, it's a funny image. And the image is distracting, therefore, not necessarily a great way. Then you have water grounding, where you can actually stand under your shower. The water is grounding you, bringing in, renewing, charging, revitalizing healthy energy while washing away the sludgy energy. That's one of my favorites. I use it freaking daily when I'm in the shower. I love water grounding personally. You can also do it just when you're jumping at the swimming hole, jump on in. Or the swimming pool at the Y if you happen to go there to do laps. Any pool, jump in, even a kiddie pool. Um, I've also seen people use water grounding when they do a washcloth bath, like truckers will do it all the time. Works perfect. Those are great ones. Then you have just breathing style grounding, where you breathe in and then you breathe out. Breathe in the cleansing energy, you breathe out the crud. Breathe in. And some people's like, I don't like to do that one because I feel like I'm breathing crud out and about and everywhere. I get that. And then there's, for that, just when you breathe out, just see it burn up into flames. It's like you're breathing fire. See it burning it up into flames as you breathe out. And then you breathe in the cleansing. Those three are the major methods that seem to work for most people. There are other methods out there. I know people who even use air grounding, where they like to stand in a breeze and feel the air saturating them, and it pulls away the crud. That is a great one, but also, like, for me, I need a good breeze to feel like it's working well. So that one's not one I utilize unless we got a good high wind to go and kicking up. Some people can do it with a lot less wind. Um, those would be the general ones I do. Mine, me personally, my go-to is just the breathing. I love good, deep breathing where I'm breathing in that energy, fresh and renewed, and blowing out the crud and calming down. That is my personal favorite for me. But everyone has a difference of opinion. I had a student where the only grounding that she would do was the one where she breathed fire. And she had a phobia of water, so water grounding wasn't exactly her cup of tea. And which I found interesting because I mean she still had the shower, but she had enough phobia of water. Wasn't good at grounding even in the shower. So interesting little concept there. Are there adult dragons with two different elements? So there's what's referred to as cross element dragons. They're not specifically two different elements, but they work in between two elements. So you'll see this in so there's storm dragons specifically that are a combination between air and water. However, just because they're a cross element and they work in the area where these two elements collide, you do have to understand that ultimately a dragon does focus on a specific element. It's just they're working in this collided area here. So they're not actually of two direct elements, but you will find water dragons and air dragons working together in this divide where they are sharing skill sets and manipulating both energies. If that makes sense again. Uh, da, 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 da. Let's see, Damon. Appreciate your work. You are a great teacher. Thank you very much, Damon. I try my best. I try my best, and I give you all the information I have that has found to work for the most students. Um, and you guys tend to kick ideals at me that keeps me learning too. So it works both ways. Appreciate it. Glad you enjoy it. And Mugs Up, thank you for the super chat. I need more coffee. What types of Fae have what types of power and attributes? If you're working with the Fae and you're looking for power and attributes, you've already missed the boat and you're going to get yourself in trouble. Never approach a Fae for power and attributes. You will offend them and end up burning your ass. They don't work that way. They really don't. Might be kind of irrelevant. What are your favorite genres of music? Have you even felt music flowing blissfully through your body? Oh yeah, I freaking love music. So I can't play music. I can't sing music. When I sing, it sounds like a dying cat. It really freaking does. It's bad. However, I do absolutely adore music. My dad was a musician. Spent a lot of time around. However, favorite genre. The easiest way I can answer this would be country, Jimmy Buffett, and stuff like Five Finger Death Punch. Those would be my favorite genres because I listen to. If you really get a hold of my playlist, you're going to find it's a mix. There is no singular theme in my playlist. There is stuff from like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s on there. There's a little bit more modern. There's country, there's rock, there's acid, there's pop. Um, there's metal, there's goth, there's alternative. It's just across the board. The question is, does the song itself speak to me? Is usually what I'm looking for. Hands down, the thing I can go to most reliably is Jimmy Buffett. Weirdly enough, so it would not be uncommon for you to be listening to my playlist to hear Jimmy Buffett, Hank Williams Jr., Hank Williams Sr. Lords of Acid, Five Finger Death Punch, Ozzy Osbourne, AC/DC, Metallica. Gods of War, Lady Gaga. Believe it or not, there's even some Katy Perry. Forgive me, but it's on there. Kenny Rogers. Yeah, it's across the board. I really don't have a preferred on that. I just love music. Now, there's some music like if I hear it and it makes no sense to me, I can't understand it, I'm less likely to listen to it. The music has to have a meaning to me. Have I ever felt it through? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like a lot of people don't know this. I actually love a lot of Christian worship music. I really do. Like Carmen, if you've never heard of him, I don't even know if he's still making crap, but he was making it when I taught in church. I love a lot of his stuff. He done a really great job. He had a great way of writing a good song that could really carry and deliver a thought-provoking message. He could really connect with the audience, which is really that's the true marker of a good musician. Can you communicate your emotions and your meaning? Um, and he did a fair job with that. He was actually my favorite back in the day. But he's actually the only one I can still remember. So, there you go. Oh, Jade, yes, you're right. Everyone asked if I was actually going to gush over Outlaw. I'm not going to gush, but hey, I've been using Outlaw soaps. They're natural, they're effective, they're affordable, they have very unique scents. I enjoy them very much. They have won me over, and they've been nice enough to partner with us to give all the Working Dragon Mystic viewers a discount, which looks like Jade did. Yeah, Jade posted that. Okay, great. So go to Outlaw, use that link there, and use the discount code Working Dragon Mystic to get you a discount. Check them out. They're really great soap. I love them. All right, there we go. No gushing, just straight up. Can we get the playlist? I really don't know how to share a playlist. But you know what? Tell you what, guys, I will attempt to put together a musical playlist either via YouTube, so it's on the channel so you guys can see what kind of random crap I listen to. Or I'll try and figure out how to share a I think I use Amazon. Yeah, I think I use Amazon Music. Or I'll try and figure out if that's doable. I don't know if that's doable. Is that doable? Again, I'm a caveman in a digital world, people. You got to work with me a little bit here. You should check out 3 Days Grace. I've heard 3 Days Grace. I do enjoy them. The other one I haven't heard of. Drake, they're great metal bands. I'll check out the other one. Thank you very much. Have you ever been to Greece? Greetings from Greece. No, I've never made it to Greece, though both me and my wife agree that that is a place that we would like to go. We're kind of torn between do we want to go to Greece first or do we want to go to Ireland first? So we want to do some travel and we're looking at it possibly in our retirement. But that is definitely one of the places we'd like to go. So yeah, have not been there. From all the unless soul travel counts, which I don't think that really counts, but a beautiful country. I absolutely adore it. It's beautiful. I like nature and travel and seeing places, so that might not be fair, but I do. I absolutely find it. I don't like New York. Nope, didn't like New York. Hated it. Hated it. Didn't like it. I don't like big cities though, so yeah. For those New Yorkers out there, I apologize. For what it's worth, your like street cart food, freaking amazing. That's like the only thing I liked about the city, but it was freaking amazing. Just so you know. Love Prince. His music is amazing. I've listened to Prince. I like Prince, but it's like I can't remember ever in my life thinking I want to listen to Prince. It's weird. He's like that artist. I know him. I like his music, okay, but he just kind of falls in the background somehow. I don't know. And there's times I feel bad, like I should like his music better. I don't know. It's that weird one, but yeah, good music. Just some reason it never pops up in my brain for being on a playlist. Also, a lot of his stuff is so slow it tends to put me to sleep. That might be why he never pops up in my playlist. Maybe, don't know. We'll have to guess on that. Is there a specialty dragon that can help with singing abilities? Right off the top of my head, I don't remember. I guarantee you there freaking is. I guarantee there is, because there are plenty of dragons I've worked with that do deal with singing and musical talents and the like. You do still have to put in the work. It's not like you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to be, a master vocalist, you're going to have to still do the work, which is something I'm not willing to do. So, but there are, and I want to say there's one in Dragon Magic 102 specifically, but if there isn't, there's also one of the lessons in there is actually how to track down and locate a specialty dragon for specific purposes. So that's I'm almost certain there's one in there, almost certain. So yeah, but I can't think of it. There's too many names for me to keep straight, just so y'all know. Let's see. Got that one. Angela, can you, for some reason, imagine you in Norway first? Actually, yes, I could imagine that too. That's another location that we are both wanting. We have highly considered Norway. Let me guess, Angela, you're hiding out in Norway, aren't you? So, yeah, we may have to see about that. We may have to see because we've got a lot that we want to do. We just got to see how things actually end up going because I think Norway would be a blast. I just love those areas. It's amazing to see how many people just across the globe have found this channel and they're like, "Hey, Magickal Redneck, I'm going to watch him." I honestly, people, honestly, truly, this is from the heart. I genuinely thought when people came over to YouTube and they're like, Southern accent, country, he's an idiot. Turn the channel. I really seriously thought people would do that. So pretty cool that there's so many people that actually enjoy my shenanigans up in here. And actually enjoy the hat, the accent, person. I've never had anybody actually shoot their mouth off at me. The only person who's ever called me stupid redneck is me, but got to keep myself humble. That's what I say. Keep myself humble. What do your guardians and co-mage do while you're live streaming? Co-mage usually chills out. The guardians usually bug the living piss out of me on this side of the camera, trying to distract me. You watch the streams, you will catch my eyes bolt all over the place watching their shenanigans. They do their darndest to annoy me, distract me, and confuse me, and even embarrass me, really. God love them. But part of that is I think they're also trying to get me to forget there's a camera here because I am terrified of cameras. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But yeah, that's usually what their shenanigans are up to. Actually, it's when they're not here that I get worried. We work them in a good whiskey. Hey, man. Oh, yeah. Got me. Actually, I had to go buy some whiskey the other day. A friend of mine sent me they found out I like Jim Beam, which I do like Jim Beam. I'm not a top shelf guy. I'm a bottom shelf, mid shelf kind of guy. But he found out I like Jim Beam, which I tend to lean toward Jim Beam Black. But he sent me Jim Beam Vanilla. All right. So I cracked that son of a gun over. I always drink my whiskeys neat, just so you know. I poured that, sat down, took me a sip. Oh my God. So first off, I don't usually drink sweets. This is actually very sweet. When my wife gets home, I want her to try it. I want to know if it's sweet enough for her. Because my wife can drink sweetened condensed milk. She loves sugar. I swear to God, she's part fake. Just saying. Anyhow, but it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet for me. And the best way I can describe this flavor is like if you've ever had like an all natural French vanilla ice cream, a good one, and you bite into that French vanilla, and that just that's what it reminded me of. It really did. I gotta be careful with that one. I can drink that way too easy. I could drink that like Kool-Aid. I gotta be careful with that one. I did not think I would like it. I was like, oh, this is gonna taste like artificial crap. And I hate artificial flavorings. So it's just like, but it was a gift. Let's try it. It was actually good. So hey, kind of glad they actually sent that because I wouldn't have tried it. Now I'm wanting to look at Jim Beam's other things and be like, what other little flavors do you got for me to explore? But currently I also have, like, you want to know bottom shelf? My go-to standard, keep it in the house 24/7. I will buy it. I'm always going to be able to afford it. Clan McGregor, Scotch. Laugh at me if you will. People's like, that's swill, that's cheap. It may be, but that's my go-to. From there, I love to just explore things. Like a good, reliable Scotch that I like. I love a nice Isla by McClellan when I can find it. Oh, it's hard to find. Anyway, but one that's always easy to find for me because I love deep, smoky scotches. Almost look like a lot of Kia tap tobacco smoke to them. And again, you guys are probably going to shake your heads or face palm, but sorry, Johnny Walker. Easy to find, not bad. Anthony, hey mate, thank you very much for the fun. Oh, that's the $5. So that puts you in for the weekly spell working for the super chats, which I forgot to mention again. Everybody, if you do a super chat of $5 or more, you're entered into a weekly spell working for prosperity, luck, well-being. There we go. Now I said it. Anthony always remembers. I always forget. I tried that one. LOL. Which one did you try? Imagine now little dragons eating tacos and popcorn saying, get Drake to say this. Oh, Lord. Yep, they would do that. As dragon energy. No, dragons and reptilians are very, 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 very different. Not the same energy currents at all. I tried that one. Which one, Maria? Which one did you try? I tried the orange one too. I've not. If we're talking, okay, Jim Beam whiskeys, I've not tried the orange one. Please tell me the orange one tastes like. Oh, there it is. It tasted like an orange creamsicle. Oh dear God. Oh dear. Like creamsicles are like one of the only happy memories from my childhood, so that might get me in trouble too. But now I totally want to try that, Maria. Yeah. Thank you, people. Like if you got stuff you want me to try, just make sure it's like mid to bottom shelf, and I'll try it. Like if somebody says Johnny Walker Blue, I'm going to laugh at you. I ain't spending $400 or $500 on a bottle of whiskey. I just don't do it. I don't drink enough. I'm a cheapskate, people. Just so we know. All right, I had the vanilla caramel black tea. Tasted really good. Ooh, that does sound good. Back during the holidays, they had a salted caramel Crown Royal. We bought a couple bottles of that. That stuff was pretty good. That was really good. I liked that one. It was a little on the sweeter side. It wasn't too sweet for me, but it was like borderline right up there. It was like sticking its toe across the line. Johnny Black is a good one, Anthony. I'm not gonna lie. Johnny Black is a good one. Let's see. Mixed. I like me some Johnny Black when I can get it. Again, it's a little tricky to get around where I'm at currently. As always, awesome. Thanks. Take care. Star, you heading out? What's your zodiac? I am an Aquarius. I am an Aquarius. Stubborn and intellectually, and weird, and not really going to apologize for being weird. But yeah, I don't really put too much into zodiac signs or any of that. I know that seems weird, but I really don't. In fact, like it actually annoys me to hear people use their zodiac sign or moon, or even a random moon and phase as an excuse for being a douche. They're like, "Oh, I can't help it. I'm a this," or "Oh, it's not my fault. Mercury retrograder." I hate that crap. But I will say there are certain personality traits that do seem to come out largely in your signs, which I do find fascinating. But I would be an Aquarius, and you're a Libra. Awesome. My wife's a Scorpio. She also scares my friends, which is fun. It's so good you need to try it. Mix the orange and vanilla Jim Beam. I'll take a look-see, Maria. Thank you very much for that one. It's going to have to be a while because I am currently in the middle of my 6-month challenge where I went like 100% carnivore. So I'm like got to stay away from more whiskeys and alcohol. I'm only allowing myself one glass of whiskey a week right now. Just one. And that's only if I get everything done in the week. Shush! No one asked you, phone. Why are you even talking? You're supposed to be silenced right now. Oh, well, screw it. All right. Let's see. What are we doing? Oh, it is time. Oh, Jade's throwing clocks at me. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let me try and get through and see if there's any other questions in here before we get going. Why Jade is throwing clocks at me? I have a whole pack of fruity teas, blueberry lemon. See, with tea, I prefer green. I love oolong and Earl Grey. I don't really go fruity. Now, one tea I've fallen in love with recently is just straight ginger tea. I love that stuff. I love it. And in fact, I've actually been brewing tea and then put it in the fridge because being a Southerner, I love cold tea. It doesn't have to be sweetened, but I love cold tea. And I've been playing around with different black teas and green teas, drinking them cold, and I'm finding a lot of very, very fascinating and interesting flavors there. Stuff I may actually have to share with you all at some point, just because it's freaking cool. And that's me. It's like, hey, I want to talk about something that's cool. So, but yeah, I've been drinking a lot more teas of late because of that. Because I do find like toward the end of the evening, I switch from coffee to something else. Usually it's beer or whiskey or rum or tequila. And since I have to limit those, it's like, well, what do I switch to now? And I can't just drink water. So my wife actually kicked the idea of tea, and I was like, that's a good idea. So boom, that's what I'm doing. There again, my wife figured it out. My wife's smarter than I am. What do we got? Little Earth Dragon. I'm an Aquarius rising with a Virgo moon. I don't know what my moons and stuff are. I'd have to look those up. Somebody did my star chart at one point. I think it's I forget what I am. I think it's a Leo moon. Maybe it was a Leo. Maybe something like that. I can't remember. That's only a guess. Don't quote me on that. Hey, don't knock on people. The basic stuff can be good. Amen. Amen. Keep it simple, people. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Nice little Johnny Walker, nice little Jim Beam. Um, you know, I'll admit, like Jose Cuervo, people's like, well, what about Jose Cuervo? I don't like Cuervo Gold. I really don't. The additives in it that they use to color, I'm not a fan of it. I don't know. But now the Cuervo White, the Blanco, it's the same thing, just no additives. That one I like. I do. I prefer Blanco tequilas over gold. But so there's that. But I will drink Cuervo. However, of lately, a buddy of mine got me hooked on Military Special, which is like full on bottom shelf gut rot, but somehow it tastes freaking amazing. I'm still trying to figure out how they did that. So if you have access to like a military base and a Nex, and you can do your shopping there, go there to where they sell their booze. It differs from base to base where they share the booze. Look for Military Special brand. I kid you not. Look for tequila. You want the white one? It is a very sweet, peppery tequila, and you get like a whole liter for $15. It's insane. And I know it's bottom shelf gut rot, but it does taste good. If you ain't tried it and you have access, give it a swirl. You'll be surprised. I know I was. Anywho. Hey, let's see here. All right, everybody, we're going to have to get ready to go on. Jade's already throwing clocks at me, and I have a admin meeting that I got to get to for the Gilded server and to discuss ongoing project with Working Dragon Mystic. So everybody, you have a fantastic week. You have yourselves a good night. You take care. Check out Outlaw. Check out the online school. Keep your eyes out for new videos, and consider supporting us with a channel membership or a Patreon membership, and enjoy the perks and the shenanigans that we attempt to do over there as well. All right, everyone, take care and good night. Bye-bye.